Good afternoon, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 20th. That is the closing bell. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators. And as always, a reminder, please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you happen to be here for the chat live, say hello. I am watching the YouTube chat. I'm also watching the Discord room. So if anybody is in either of those two places right now, do say hello. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump in to the S&P 500. Today was quite a down day. Very heavy duty selling pressure today. But we have gone. Hey, there's Vu in the chat room. Hello, Vu. Good to see you. So yeah, we've gone right between the 76.4 and the 100% retracement here. So as I mentioned this morning in this morning's analysis, this is a very typical bottoming pattern where we see an absolute bottom, or what might eventually prove to be the absolute bottom, and then we see a significant rally, and then we see a significant retracement back to or very close to the other bottom, and it either becomes a double bottom if it gets really close or right to it, or just a first higher low that is just a little bit above. So we might be forming that right now. There are a number of signs that that could be the case. We're definitely getting into some oversold territory down at these levels. The Navigator right now on the daily chart is trending upwards. So there is some strength there, and it's trying to get close to that zero line. Hasn't been able to do it yet. Hasn't been able to get there. But if we can get another rally off of this, then I would expect to see a cross of the zero line, and then that would likely establish a new pattern of higher highs and higher lows. But of course, it has to break that level there first. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bottom right around here, right around where it is right now, in fact. So we'll have to see what the market does tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow is the day before Thanksgiving. So there may or may not be a whole heck of a lot of activity. It's who knows. But this is traditionally a time when everybody's doing family stuff and maybe not thinking so much about work. So we may or may not see anything real significant tomorrow. Today, as you can see from the intraday chart, it's just basically for the last couple of days, actually, it's just been a continuation of this down move. And today, I mean, it was down. It ended the day down, but I mean, you can see it was kind of choppy. Today was a chopping around day. We really sort of never got above the morning range with any kind of real conviction. I mean, we did break the morning range. There's the opening 60 right there. But never actually, you know what? Sorry, that is not because this includes the previous half hour. So yeah, I mean, we only got above it there and below it there. So really there was no conviction. The bottom line, it still stands that there just was no trend. It's not like we broke to the upside and then headed upwards. There just was no trend. This was a kind of a directionless day. So it just goes to the idea that perhaps we're forming a bottom. We're not really looking to move a whole heck of a lot lower than this. So we'll have to see what happens tomorrow and Friday, and then obviously going into the rest of the year, will we get a holiday rally? Remains to be seen. But I think there's a good chance for it. I like the prospects of a bottom forming somewhere right around in here. This also, of course, is the top of the buy zone right there. We have a large, significant, major buy zone right here. So it would make perfect sense that this area in here is the bottom. So that's what I'm looking for as far as S&P 500 goes anyway. Looking for a bottom to start more trading to the long side. Now, crude oil did actually break lower, and it took off and broke out of the little buy zone that had been stuck in and went straight to the next buy zone that was down below it, right to it, and then just stopped cold. So that is where we're at right now. Basically, right there is our buy zone. And, very much oversold on that move down on the 60. And we've been showing oversold for a while on the daily. So could we have a little bit further move down? Sure, it's always possible. All it takes is the buyers to step aside or the sellers to step up and start pushing. But I wouldn't personally be betting on the short side rather at this point. After a move of this size, that is a huge move in a short period of time. So I would definitely be looking for some signs that we're ready to go long. So keep an eye out on a change of trend direction. Right now, we're still lower lows, lower highs, But if we can see a change in that, if we can see a point where maybe it tries to make a new lower low and fails, if it fails to break this low here, perhaps, that would be a good first indication that we might be starting to change the trend direction. So keep an eye out for some kind of sign that this market wants to turn around and start heading back up. As at this point, it is just so hugely oversold. All it would really take is some buyers to decide to step up and buy at these lower prices. I mean, we're close to $50 at this point, which is a very key psychological level. And I didn't really expect it to get down quite this far. I was thinking, the 60 area somewhere would probably be a reasonable place for this decline to pause and maybe turn around. But we've gone all the way down almost to 50 now, or 53 and a quarter. So watch for some signs to the long side. Watch for signs that it's failing to make lower lows, and that'll be your first hint that the trend may be changing and you want to see about going long. Now, gold has just kind of gone sideways today. Not a whole heck of a lot going on. I mean, it was a little bit down, but really just sort of chopping around. There were some definite intraday moves, but really it hasn't gone much of anywhere. I mean, you can see it here on the daily. The last couple of sessions, it's just staying in this little bit of a range. We are, of course, moving up from bouncing off of that rising channel line. So we're kind of right smack in the middle of that channel right now, more or less right in the center. So it's a tough call. Do you trade to the long side? Do you trade to the short side? It could go either way because right now we are just right in the middle trend zone. So I think you have to consider what's going on in the market. If the market is likely, the broader market is likely to rally from here, if we're likely to see a bottom get put in and the market to start heading up, well, that is traditionally anyway, that is bearish for gold. So you might look for gold to want to head lower as people maybe decide that the worst is over and it's time to come out of gold and back into stocks again. But gold, as we've seen recently, is not always inverse correlated to the market. Sometimes it moves with. So you really just need to kind of wait and see intraday what opportunities present themselves. I mean, right now the Navigator has gotten down to the zero line, but not broken below it on the 60-minute, and on the daily it did dip below it, but now came right back up to it again and is kind of wanting to push higher. So it's going to be interesting to see which way it goes. If the 60 breaks lower, then this is likely to hold the zero line hold as resistance for the Navigator and head lower. And of course, if this can hold and head upwards, then the opposite is what we're looking to have happen. We're looking for this to cross the zero line and to head higher. So that's what I'm looking for in gold. I mean, the box is a good place to watch as well right now. The daily box, a break of those highs to the upside. And then, of course, if it can take out this high there, that would be extremely bullish, and we'd look for gold to continue higher. But if it can head lower, if it can take out this low here, then we will be looking for a test of these lows back here. So right now, gold just kind of in the middle, kind of in a no man's land. And there's no real obvious call which direction and who's really in control. So tread carefully in gold. Just trade carefully. Crypto is just continuing to break down, but we did see some buyers come in. You can see here just kind of late in the, well, it's not really late in the session for crypto because it's 24 hours, but in the last couple of hours, we saw some buying happen. All of a sudden, buyers bought up this candle about halfway. So we got down almost to 4,000, which is kind of crazy. I mean, you can just look at that. Look how close to 4,000 we came. So we are just within spitting distance of 4,000. And that is a serious, serious sell-off. That is a major psychological level there, 4,000. If that gets broken, then I think we could be in for one more nasty push downwards and just a capitulation, just complete giving up with all the last desperate hangers on just kind of throwing in the towel and stepping aside and getting out, at which point I would expect to see prices resume rather sharply. Once all the weak hands are shaken out of the market, then it is free to resume its upward trajectory. So it's just the same old stuff as usual. We're looking for obvious signs that this market has turned around. Right now, it is continuing to make lower lows and lower highs and then a lower low, and it's got to break that pattern. It's got to either make maybe it makes a lower high and then it fails to make a lower low, that would be a good initial sign. But then it's still got to get over this. It's got to get over that lower high in order to establish any kind of a change of trend direction. So Bitcoin's got its work cut out for it. The crypto market is still very much in the dead of winter. That being said, we are highly oversold. Not a big surprise on the daily basis. Very, very oversold. But as we have seen many times, things can be very oversold and they can get more oversold. I mean, look how oversold we were back here on the 60, and it didn't even matter. I mean, it paused for just a brief second and then just continued its downward move. So never think that just because something is oversold that it cannot get more oversold. Right now, we are only at, oops, come on, give me my background dragging. There we go. We are down at, oh, no, I take it back. We're further than I thought. We're actually down above 50 or below 50, technically, below negative 50 on the Navigator numeric readout. So we are hugely oversold. Usually 40 is about the range where we start to say that it's oversold, and we're at negative 54. So yeah, Bitcoin is very, very, very oversold on a daily basis. But again, until we break this pattern of lower lows and lower highs, it's not going to matter. It can continue to get worse and it can continue to be oversold. So watch for a change in pattern to suggest that maybe something is starting to turn around in this market. And finally, natural gas, which chopped around also a lot today. Big swing down, big swing back up again, kind of ending the day not too far from where it started. So natural gas is really hanging out at these highs, but I would not want to be going short at this point. It sounds like there's some more really, really nasty weather events coming into the East Coast real soon. So I think it's possible that could spike natural gas, whether that's on actual demand or just speculators thinking it's going to go up. Either way, it can impact price. Right now, to me, it looks like there is probably one more push due in natural gas, one more push higher, one leg higher. So we'll have to see if that plays out, but I would be wary of going short here. I think it could be a really nasty bear trap. Going short with a stop right up here, I think it's very possible that that just gets taken out. So be careful in natural gas. Natural gas is in a tough spot right now. I can't see a real strong case for going short, and I can't see an absolute definitive case for going long either. Because we are so high right now. We did get exhaustion warnings back here. We are close to oversold territory on the daily. On the Navigator on the 60, we have actually come down, and we're now just hanging out around the zero line, just oscillating above and below it. So Navigator looking weak. I could see somebody wanting to go short based on this, but I would be really wary of doing that. I feel that the charts suggest one more push up is in order. So it's going to be primarily weather driven, right? So keep an eye on that weather. And if you're in natural gas or want to be in natural gas, just beware of the weather, as it can happen very quickly and can change your trading landscape before you even realize what's happened. So that is my analysis for this afternoon. Now, a reminder, this is going to be our last analysis for the year. We are going to take some time off and enjoy the holidays and all that good stuff. Still going to be trading, but we'll be taking time off from these analyses. And we are going to be discussing between ourselves a lot of possible additions to the format for next year. We got a bunch of ideas and a bunch of things that we're working on and that are brewing. So, keep your eyes open for what we decide to do starting in 2019. And hopefully you like it. And hopefully we can continue to help you in your trading. So do let us know, leave us comments, let us know how you're doing, how these are helping you, if they are, or what you think we could do differently to help you. If you feel that you need something different, we would love to hear from you. So like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help us get some more visibility on YouTube and pass it around. That's it for me, Jonathan van Clute from Stock Navigators. If I don't talk to any of you before then, have yourselves a great Thanksgiving and a great holiday December season, whichever holidays you may celebrate. And either way, have a great new year and look forward to 2019. Take care, everybody. Hey, you're very welcome, Vu. It's great to see that you're here. That's awesome. Hope your trading's going great, man. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.